Good morning, friends. This is indeed March 1st, 2020. Yesterday I made my leap day video. I just wanted to do kind of a part two of that. I'm going to tie off a couple loose ends, and I'm really explaining the whole strategy here. What is the proposal? If there is a proposal, what's the proposal? And I'll tell you that right up front. It's let's employ the concentric hierarchy. So here's my channel, the stuff I talk about going back in time. And if I could summarize it all, my suggestion is that the mathematical part of synergetics that's really easy to get across, we should bring that in. Not knowing exactly, it's like a protein. You eat it, what kind of muscles will you get? I don't know exactly. So I wanted to do for continuity here this claim I made that when he's talking about pulling out of a tailspin and doing it with a cool head, like you have limited time and you don't just run around in a panic, right? Kind of the opposite of staying cool is you lose your cool, right? This is all ordinary sort of idiomatic English in my part of the world, right? I always found it interesting that Fuller went to Greenwich Village, and right around then it became square to be square, right? It was like not hip to be square. Kind of beatnik. He was in that generation, sort of, but he took it in another direction, right? Where everyone else, the beatniks, were all doing T-shirts. He decided to dress up in a three-piece suit for his whole life, almost every appearance, right? That's a lot of work. Anyway, his whole approach was it's not political ideology that we need to infuse. I mean, there's a lot of that, and you're not going to stop it. It's not like let's clamp down on political ideology. It's more like, what am I going to do with my life? Well, I'm going to work on artifacts. Like, consider the cell phone. That's a good more with less. We don't give any one person credit for that whole amazing amalgamation of technologies from GPS to the telecom part. It's got the internet, it's got web browsers. It's a computer, right? Your home. A lot of smartphones are that. So that's the ultimate more with less. And it can seem like, do we really need that much computing power? Well, it sure does give us a lot more collectively as a species in terms of keeping up with what's going on and comparing notes and kind of bringing to bear our collective intelligence. This, by the way, is a picture of me in front of the Hubble. That's not just that's a small version, right? So I got to teach there to the Hubble people. Those are instrumentation people wanting to learn Python. This is a aerial view of Reed College. This is a campus in not far from where I live, where I prototyped this particular curriculum. And one of the artifacts in it is what I call and what Bucky Fuller calls the concentric hierarchy. It's very tetrahedron oriented. I've got a coordinate system you can play with that goes with it. It's entertaining and could be the subject of a lot of animations and science fiction. So I think it's potentially, like in a business sense, it's not like a huge sacrifice to suddenly have something new to share if it checks out. And I think we've had enough time to check out just this part, the concentric hierarchy and its terminology. That's pretty easy to carve out of synergetics and make a standalone artifact. We don't have to buy all of this as like a new religion or anything like that. In other words, I'm not proposing that everybody needs to run out and read synergetics. What I'm proposing is that in our everyday K through 16 curriculum, we do the work necessary to phase in what I'm calling Martian math, but I'm very clear we don't have to call it that. And I do see all around me signs that there are initiatives taking place. So I'm encouraged by some of what I see. I'm not going to like go down a list of everything I see, but the design science revolution is all around us in the sense of the open source movement. And what I'm doing, you don't have to write to me and ask for permission to figure out, if you can teach Martian math, however branded, right? That's not my concern. My concern is when I go out on the internet, do I see a lot besides me who think I have a good portfolio or proposal to share? In other words, does my proposal make any sense? It's not just my proposal, right? We're talking about a cult, you could say, subcultural, I say cult. But cult, what? So what, right? Everything's a cult. I don't want to always be picking on some weird church or something. Subgenius, I mock the idea of cults to some degree with the subgenius label and so forth. Like, let's get over it already. That there are these weird groups we've always had, like the Mithric Temple. It's like, yeah, it's a cult, sure. So you can't tell history if you don't talk about that kind of stuff. So where am I going with this? I wanted to show if we do go ahead with this as a curriculum topic. What I'm talking about, I think I could just put it this way, is the volumes, right? And tetravolumes. Synergetics, tetravolumes, what am I going to get? See, this is where I can test how much is out there. And so it's like, how many hits? Thousands of hits. But is thousands of hits good? Okay, is that enough? We get a lot of hits right into synergetics itself. We get stuff that I've written. And so I would say there's still more to go here. Like, I'm looking for uh, more stuff. The images, a lot of these are mine. Like, all those are mine. So it sounds like I'm complaining, and I guess I am in the sense that where are the cartoons? Things that I'm not a good cartoon guy in terms of doing. I'm not a huge Disney Farm animation place, right? Let's say digital mathematics and close this out as what the proposal was. Did I show you in Grunch of Giants? Okay, to round this out, talked about tailspin, right? In the previous one, in the will. The thing here was, where are we? In a lesser way, will becomes operative when the individual finds himself in terminal peril and has only seconds to pull out of a tailspin. Okay, that was that paragraph. And now jumping to Grunch of Giants, nothing new about all that, but what is new is that humanity has gone as far as it can go with a significant error and is in final examination as to whether it can free itself from its misconditioned reflex straitjacket in time to pull out of its greatest in all history. Error occasioned tail spinning into eternity. Hey, so it's that tail spinning, right? That links me to this other paragraph, is what I'm saying. So, yes, and finishing up here, back to my Google search, digital mathematics. Let's see if we get there. I think Wikipedia. Wikipedia. No, not Wikipedia. Wiki Educator Silicon Digital Mathematics. I spelled educator wrong. Wiki Educator Digital Mathematics. Here we go. Digital math. This would be the proposed phase-in, and as I've mentioned, you could do this through literature if the math people are feeling put upon, and the computer science people don't have time for sequences. If you've got to go with the literature department, that's the way I've paved for you. Looks pretty like a wide street, but not many people driving it. Give it a shot. Let me know. Talk to you later.